Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure we had the High Priestess Part 1, where basically now the whole crew of Crusaders, the Crusaders as they ought to be called now, I've decided that that's what they're going to be called now, they were on a sub, and Joseph made a call to Susie to say that everything was alright. And then they were attacked by the High Priestess, and then Susie called again, and then Jotaro answered the phone and was like, don't worry about it. And then Susie was like, wait, why would he be there? Because I don't know anything. And then they were going to scuba dive out of the sub and hopefully make it to the coast of Africa. Yeah. That was pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link. That will take you over to the reaction. You can watch it just like a normal reaction, and when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion. So with that being said, let's get right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as my eye starts to itch. Here we go. Alrighty, that's episode 24. And how many are there? 48. So that's literally the halfway point. We have 24 more episodes left. Jeez Louise. Alrighty. I'm pretty sure that we are going to have a new intro and outro next episode now that we are on the Egypt arc. So, oh man. We made it. We finally made it to Egypt. The arbitrary place that Dio is hiding. Because so one of you guys did tell me that the reason that it's Egypt is because Dio, the band or singer or whatever, has a song called Egypt, I believe. So they put Dio in Egypt. Again, in terms of the story, there is absolutely no reason that Dio went to Egypt. Man, I'm so glad that we saw him again, you know? Because we haven't seen him in a long time. Like, it must have been... It was a while ago that we last saw Dio. So... I'm glad that we saw him again, you know? Our main villain, we still haven't seen his face. Our main villain, we still haven't seen his face, but man, if you again though, cuz I know some of you guys have told me that, you know, oh, well, a lot of people skip part 1 and part 2 to get to part 3. They just skip over it. How would anyone understand anything? You know? Because you have no idea who Dio is or what's the deal. You know? It's like, oh, here's this guy who apparently came back. You know, because even, and again, I won't harp on this too much, but again, it's like, you know, they give the sort of backstory. It's like, oh, 100 years ago, we thought he was killed by Joseph's grandfather, Jonathan, but he has taken his body and is now reborn with a stand. But here's something that I want you guys to know. In all 24 episodes that we have had of Stardust Crusaders, not once have they said the word vampire. And if you don't know that, how can you watch JoJo? I don't get that. Now, maybe you could get away with maybe you could get away with watching just part 1 before part 3, because the only thing about part 2 that is, you know, basically needed is Joseph. That's the thing. But even though, you know, I kind of joke around, oh, Joseph is still the main character, and he is, by the way. That's really only a half joke. But Joseph is still the main character, no doubt about that. Jotaro is not the main character. He's the main fighter, not the main character. So, but part 2 basically just gives you the backstory of Joseph. Despite the fact that his backstory is defeating the god of all vampires. You know? That's the thing. Like, if you just go from part 1 to part 3, then it's like, oh, okay, so this is Jonathan's grandson, and okay, he's got some Hamon, but he has his hermit purple, okay. But, you know, he's kind of older, you know, he's not really, he doesn't fight as much as, like, Jotaro, you know? So, like, that's the thing, you can get that, but then there's people like me who watched part 2 and are thinking, Joseph is the main character. It's Joseph, it's not Jotaro. But, yeah, so I question how can anyone watch part 3 without watching part 1 and part 2. Maybe you could get away with just watching part 1 and not watching part 2. But part 2 is fucking brilliant, so you should watch that, you know? I don't know how people would stick with this if they don't know. If they don't know jack shit about Dio, I kind of find it hard to believe that people would actually stick this long. Now, granted, I mean, people would probably binge Stardust Crusaders, not do what I'm doing. You know, I watch it once a week, if that, because sometimes we take breaks. So, yeah, I guess if you're binging it, maybe it's a bit easier. You know, watch all of Stardust Crusaders in a week. Okay, so maybe that's not the right question. But yeah, I don't know. Is there any of you in the comments that, you know, did any of you watch part 3 without watching part 1 and part 2? Let me know. I'd be very curious, actually. Because I don't understand how you do that. Namely, because you wouldn't understand Dio. You know? Whereas me, who's watched part 1 and part 2, I know the threat of Dio, you know? And there's the history of, you know, oh, he took Jonathan's body. If you don't know Jonathan, you don't care. But if you watch part 1, you're like, that son of a bitch took Jonathan's body. And he's banging girls and eating fools with that body, you know? I mean, he's eating people with his... Well, Dio could suck blood through his fingers. I don't know if he can do that with Jonathan's body. He's definitely banging chicks with John. Like, there were like a couple chicks there. I'm pretty sure in the first few episodes we saw him. It's like, I'm pretty sure Dio is banging chicks with Jonathan's dick. You know, that. We don't need to go off on that anyway. Scuba gear. That was nice. I love any time Old Man Joseph gets to explain stuff. Because, well, first off, Joseph is never really the... I don't want to say he's the bright type, because... now, granted, he is. Joseph is brilliant. You know, he is a brilliant fighter and strategist and everything. But, I don't know, just the thought of Joseph explaining things, like he did with the camels during the sun, or like here with the scuba gear. It's like, I don't know why, but I just like that. Just imagining just Joseph is just explaining things, like, oh, he's so knowledgeable and wise. Maybe that's it, because I never imagined Joseph Joestar to be wise, you know? Yeah, and here's what it's kind of like. Okay, this is going to seem weird and random, but Joseph is like a dog like a high energy dog. Like I have a high energy dog, and he's very high energy, and he's impatient, and he's sneaky. He'll like steal socks and stuff like that, and because he wants you to chase him so he can run around. He's a very high energy dog. And sometimes I think, I have no idea what you're going to be like as an old man dog, in however many years that'll take. Like, I can't imagine him as an older dog. Joseph is kind of like that, where it's like, you look at him in part 2, and it's like, okay, he's going to be the wise, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi of the group, It's like, how? Because you go back to, like, the prequels in Clone Wars, Obi-Wan was already a wise guy, and he was Anakin's master from the beginning. Well, not in Phantom Menace, but, But for, episodes 2 and 3, and obviously Clone Wars, Obi-Wan is the master, and Anakin is the apprentice. But you go back to part 2, no, that would be Lisa. She was the master, and Joseph being the apprentice. Joseph being honestly a lot like Anakin Skywalker. It's like if you mixed Anakin Skywalker, Trevor Belmont, and Sonic the Hedgehog and put them all into one person. That's Joseph Joestar. So imagining that, but being old, wise Ben Kenobi is weird. I don't know, but I just like that. Just him, figuring out, not figuring out, but he just knows that stuff, He's been around the block. He's scuba dived in 50 years, so he knows how to do it. So yeah, I don't know. I like that. So we had the High Priestess, start to like invade, like start to go down Polnareff's throat, I don't need that. No. And that was interesting, because at first it's like, oh, Hierophant Green. It's like, oh yeah, Hierophant Green could probably go in there. Hierophant Green, has gone up, people's buttholes before. Granted, that wasn't Polnareff's butthole, although I don't know, a lot of shit comes out of his mouth, but still. But anyway, it's like, yeah, episode 2, we saw Hierophant Green, shove his tentacle up a woman's butthole, so, Anyway, but I also like that Joseph actually, stuck Hermit Purple down his nose too, So, yeah, I get his mouth is more his butthole. Anyway, that joke is gone now. But yeah, I do like Joseph going in there too, because Joseph doesn't really do stuff like that, Because that's the thing, I say Joseph is the main character, but he doesn't get too many moments of fighting. Despite the fact that he is Joseph Joestar. But the thing is, he doesn't have a fighting stand, per se, He has vines. Now, he could use those vines. I wish he would use those vines more. I could, like, every time there's a situation, I keep thinking of things that Joseph could be doing, but he doesn't. Instead, just, ora, But Jotaro is the main fighter, while Joseph is the main character, So I like that Joseph actually did something. He also grabbed the High Priestess and ripped her out. So that was good. We had the seafloor, the High Priestess becoming the seafloor, which was very clever. And yeah, it's like, I also like that. It's like, oh well, she can take over all those minerals, and because now they are closer to her stand user, she is a lot more powerful. Like, oh, okay, well that's kind of interesting. I like that. So yeah, that was very, very interesting. I like that. And yeah, just them being eaten was kind of funny. Oh, something I wanted to mention too. So they mentioned, we can talk through our stands, which we've had established since Deep Blue Moon. Was it Deep Blue Moon or Dark Blue Moon? Hold on. It was Dark Blue Moon. Didn't I put Deep Blue Moon as the name of the episode, though? I think I might have. At the time. Hang on. Where's my JoJo playlist? JoJo. There it is. JoJo. Yeah, I put Deep Blue Moon. Whoopsies. I should probably go correct that sometime. Oh well. It's Dark Blue Moon, not Deep Blue Moon. But we had that. We did have that of like, yeah, you can talk through your stands. But Joseph doesn't have a talking stand. Like, he doesn't have a humanoid stand. I mean, granted, I don't know. It's just interesting. Like I like that there is at least consistency. It's like, oh yeah, well Joseph can talk through his stand too. But at the same time, I was like, well, it's not really humanoid. I mean, I guess that's really just overthinking it at that point. And it's not really a problem. It's good, you know? But still. Yeah. I don't know. We also had the thing about Jotaro being the High Priestess Rose's type, which was kind of funny. And I did like Polnareff actually doing something useful and clever. Thank you. Polnareff actually being smart and having Jotaro, try to play to her. It's like, oh, well, maybe if I could have seen you, who knows? Maybe I would have fallen for you, But then they ruin it because they all jump in on it, Especially with Joseph. I like Joseph being like, oh, if I was only 30 years younger. I do wish he said, it's like, if only I had kept up with my Hamo training, then I would still be, 69 years old. But I would at least look young. Anyway. And then Jotaro... there's not even like a... It's like, oh, well, my teeth are as hard as diamonds or anything. And then he just busts through it anyway. It's like, there's no like, oh, well, I'm really going to have to go all out in order to do this. And he barely makes it. It's like, no, tougher than diamonds. It doesn't matter. Star Platinum's just that powerful. He's that strong. He is OPAF. OPAF. And he is. And he busted through all of her teeth. It was ridiculous, But yeah. But that was clever. I did like the fight. I do see why this needed to be 2 parts now. Last episode where we barely had a discussion, it's like, okay, well, it's not... But last episode didn't really have a lot. It's like, okay, the High Priestess is interesting. And there was a cameo by Susie. Okay. This episode is like, okay, well, if you want to have a cameo by Susie and a wrap-up to this first half of Stardust Crusaders, then yeah, this does need to be 2 parts. So, I'm alright with it. And yes, we have made it to Egypt. We have made it to Egypt. How many stands have we gone through? I don't know how many tarot cards there are. Is it? Oh, no, it's 21. Yeah, it's 21. That's it. So, for all the stands that we have gone through, first off, we have our 5 core stands that we have here. We have Star Platinum, Hermit Purple, Magician's Red, Hierophant Green, and Silver Chariot. We had the Tower of Gray. Yes, Tower of Gray. Dark Blue Moon, the Strength, the Devil, Yellow Temperance, the Emperor, the Hanged Man, the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune. God, these are all so easy because they're all named for the episodes. The Justice, the Lovers, the Sun, Death 13, the Judgment, and the High Priestess. That leaves 2. That leaves 2 stands. Wait just a second. That leaves 2. Yeah, there's only 2 stands left. Yeah, there's Dio, who I think I've said this before. I know through memes that he has the world. He has Zawarudo. So, sometimes memes are unavoidable, especially like memes from before you even start watching a show. So, I know Dio has the world. Who does that leave? Just a second. What does that leave, actually? Oh, the Fool. Wait. No, wait, then that's 3. Wait, the Fool is 0. We're... Okay, well, wait. No, we had the Moon. The hell I am basing this off of the Arcana Force cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, they didn't complete all of those, but still. They don't have the full tarot deck, but I'm trying to think of it. Because there's Arcana Force 21, The World, which is the only decent Arcana Force card. The Fool, but that's like 0. So who am I missing? Then we have the Hierophant, we have the Magician, the High Priestess. What was 3? What was 3? 3. What was 3? Oh, why can't I remember what was 3? What was number 3? I'm trying to remember, like, all of that. So it should be 0 is the Fool, which we haven't had yet. Then the Magician, the High Priestess. Oh, then the Empress and the Emperor are 3 and 4. Next, I believe, is Hierophant. 6. 6 is the Lovers. 7 is the Chariot. 8 would be Strength. 9 is the Hermit. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. 11 is the Justice. 12... What the hell was 12? Why can't I remember what number 12 was? Okay, hold on. Actually, I have a list of, like, all of them on my computer somewhere. Don't ask me why. You don't want to know the answer. Maybe you do, I don't know. Who am I to judge? Anyway. Okay, the High Priestess. Number 12. 12 is the Hanged Man. 13 is, well, Death. Death 13. No, that's the Devil. We had Tower of Grey. Shit. Shit! Okay, 12 was the Hanged Man. 13 is Death. 14... Really struggling on this one. 14... What the hell was 14? 15 is the Devil. What is 14? 16 is the Tower. 17 is the Star. 18 is the Moon. 19 is the Sun. 20 is Judgment. 21 is the World. So that leaves number 14. What is number 14? And we've already established we're already missing the World and the Fool. So number 14 is the other one we're missing. What the hell was it? Okay, so 9 was the Hermit, 10 was the Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to get this. 10 was the Wheel of Fortune, 11 was the Justice, 12 was the Hanged Man, 13 was Death, 14... Oh, come on. I almost got it. What was number 14? What was it? Oh, why can't I remember this? Oh, you guys are probably screaming at your... I hope you... Well, if you know it, you're screaming at your monitors. Don't look it up. Oh, I'm tempted to just go look... I'm tempted to go look, but I don't think... I want to try to remember this. Okay. Think. Is it... No... 14. What was the 14th card? Okay, remember. Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, the Justice, Hanged Man, Death. 15 is the Devil. What is 14? What the fuck is 14? Ah! I can't remember! Crap, it's the last one! Why can't I remember this? I got them all. What is the last one? What is number 14? Oh, it's driving me insane. Why can't I remember? Alright. I'm gonna look it up. Because it's driving me crazy. Okay. Never mind the clicking sound. I hope I don't regret this. Hang on, I keep freaking gonna zoom in because I can't see. Okay. Tarot. I need... Okay, we need... Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna reveal it as I go. So, we have the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, Temperance! It was... We have Temperance. Wait a second. Wait a minute. So, then there's only 2 left. Wait, did I... While I was listing them, did I just skip over Yellow Temperance? That doesn't make sense. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. Magician's red, the High Priestess, the Empress... The Emperor is a gun. Hierophant green. The Lovers was Steely Dan. The Silver Chariot. Strength was the perverted monkey. Hermit purple is Joseph. Wheel of Fortune was the stupid car. Justice was Anyaba. The Hanged Man was Centerfold. Death 13. Yellow Temperance. The Devil. The Tower of Grey. Star Platinum. The Dark Blue Moon. The Sun. Judgment, we just had Judgment, the World, and the Fool. Oh, we only have 2 left. Oh. Well then. We only have 2 left. Huh. Interesting. Okay, I guess we have 2 left. Well, excuse me. I was right. Did I actually say... Did I say Yellow Temperance? I don't remember, actually. It was Temperance, but I forgot. Yes, now I remember. Arcana Force 14, Temperance. That's a good card. Well, it's a decent card, but it's still. I remember that card now. Oh my gosh. I just elongated this conversation by like 10 minutes trying to think of that. All right. So yeah, there's 2 left. Unless we start getting stands that don't have tarot names, which is entirely possible, I guess. So we have the Fool and the World, and I'm pretty sure the World belongs to Dio. Interesting phrasing of that. Anyway, Dio was the next thing I wrote down. Good to see him again. Killing that Speedwagon Foundation guy. And again, eating him. Now, we don't know, was that Dio Stan that killed him, or was that the Fool? Or something else entirely? Who knows? And then, the last thing I wrote down was Joestars. I honestly was getting a little emotional there with Susie talking to Jotaro and then looking at the picture and then Joseph being like, it's time to put this 100-year journey to rest, you know? It's like, yes, finish the work started by Jonathan Joestar 100 years ago. So I can't lie. I was getting a little teary-eyed at that. I was like, "Oh, the Joestars." Oh man, oh man. So yeah, this was a really good episode. I really liked it, and I am excited to see where we are going through the next half of the show. Oh boy, oh boy. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.